Hello guys, as you very well might know already, a new expansion has already been announced. The name is Boomsday Project. New keyword was introduced, which is magnetic. It allows a minion with such keyword to be attached to another mech, taking all its stats and special effects as well. So let me just begin. I think I'll start with Druid. Druid has gotten a lot of support for existing archetypes, but I don't think there will be like a new archetype of Druid. Just existing ones will be empowered with newer cards, but I think existing decks will just become much more stronger. So Druid will still be one of the best classes to play, I think. Forbidden's flop, 4 mana 3/4, while in your hand this is a 3/4 copy of the last minion you played. Yeah, this card is awesome. I will give it 5-star rating just on the spot. Has a lot of implications. You can play it in cube deck, you can play it in Malygos Druid. It keeps the 3/4 stats, but it also remembers the last minion you played, even next turn, right? So say you played Malygos, 5 out of 5, not 5 out of 10. So say you played Malygos online, you can play Malygos next turn for 4 mana and go with the pipe. Natural addition to Malygos decks, and will probably even enable some other archetypes. I mean, I would assume Malygos Druid will still be the best. The flip can also be used with cards like Hadronax. It's a little bit more difficult to pull it off because you don't want to be playing Hadronax one by one, since your board will be full after you play the first one. But if it's silenced, it's pretty good. Also, you can play extra Lichkin. Let's say you want to have a nice taunt quality if you're playing a taunt Druid. Just play a 4 mana Lichkin, add it to your rest pool, maybe spend your remaining mana to draw cards or play swipe, remove stuff. Druid can do something with 5 mana, not so difficult. Good card. Flips Glorious Gloop, 1 mana. Whenever a minion dies this turn, gain 1 mana crystal this turn only. Okay, so this card embosters the token Druid. I don't think there's a reason to run such card in any other deck. If you play it in token, you can potentially make some crazy stuff happen. It's only one mana crystal. Effect is very underwhelming though. Like, I'm not sure if you want to play this in the token Druid the way it is right now. Like, for the token Druid right now, if you have a lot of minions on board, you just play Savage Roar and you go face. Only reason to trade if your opponent has a taunt or if you're dying. It doesn't happen so often. So I'm actually not sure about this one. I don't know if it will find a card in token Druid. I guess the benefit of it is you can also kill your opponent minions. It will also give you mana. You have to think about it this way. I guess it's just barely good enough to be playable in token Druid. I don't think you should be still playing it in any other deck though. If you play in a matchup where neither of players playing a token deck or aggro deck at least, if you play this in like taunt Druid, it just won't do anything. Normally if you play like a taunt against Paladin, you want to play Drake as soon as you can. This is turn 9, so you don't have mana to play the Gloop. Not like you can even spend this mana even if you can Gloop. So yeah, I think it's only for a token Druid, and I think it's barely good enough. I will give it 3 out of 5. I mean, Trend Druid can also be considered as a token Druid. I'm pretty sure if Trend archetype will exist, it will benefit from token cards which are already in game, and just will be as an addition, let's say. Maybe in Trend Druid. Like, in my opinion, it's just same decks really, token or Trend Druid. Dream Petal Florist, 7 mana 4/4. At the end of your turn, reduce the cost of random minion in your hand by 7. This one is quite interesting, right? So you get a 4/4 and you discount a random minion in your hand by 7. First time I saw it, I was thinking it also works in spells. I didn't like it so much, but it only works on minions, and it makes it much better. You can really build your Druid without having too many big minions. Moreover, Malygos Druid right now, it doesn't even run any minion below 7 mana. So you will always get the most discount out of it. Forget about playing Twig. It's not required for your Malygos combo anymore. You can just play Dream Petal Florist. And if you have only one Malygos in your hand, you will always discount it by 7, while also getting a 4/4 on board. If you're talking of a regular Malygos deck, like a Lichkin and Malygos, I don't think I would run 2 Florists in this deck. Yes, it's pretty good if you land a discount, but it also limits your options, right? It makes you play the Florist, and after that it makes you play the minion, let's say against any tempo deck. You want to... If you spend so much mana towards not taunting or gaining armor, if you play like against Zoo or Ad Paladin, it's very likely you'll just die next turn. If you make like a slow play again, you can set it up, but I don't think your opponent will give you more than one turn. So you play this, you have to use the card to discount next turn in most cases. That's why I don't like two of those. They can also discount each other. Then you play a Florist and then you play 0 mana 4/4. But you know what else is 0 mana 4/4? Yes, Arcane Tyrant. Nevertheless, card is very interesting. You can also use it in a Taunt Druid. I don't know about Big Druid. Big Druid has few cheap minions you don't want to play in some circumstances, like Greedy Sprite. You don't want to discount this guy, and you also don't want to play it if you draw it in the wrong moment. So it requires some setup. So yeah, I think you can play it in Taunt Druid. In Taunt Druid it sounds decent. I won't be so sure about it though. Like, the card seems good, but on paper you just want one of a kind in Malygos Druid, and you probably don't find a card for it in any other Druid deck, so I'll give it 3.5 stars, I guess. Has a great potential later, with more cards being added to the game. Juicy Psych Melon, 4 mana, draw 7, 8, 9 and 10 cast minions from your deck. I think Druid doesn't have problems with drawing cards. Yes, I know many people were saying this card will be broken in Wild if you play in Tugwaggle. So what are you getting from it? A Florist? No, you get Azalina, a Tugwaggle, maybe you run Malygos Tugwaggle. Okay, you can get Malygos as well. And then you also get 10 mana, and Tyrantus. I guess you don't have to run any 10 mana minions. Aviana Kun? Oh, yeah. Aviana Kun in Wild. That makes more sense. So yes, it's pretty OP in Wild. I don't think you played in Standard though. For 4 mana, drawing 4 cards, it doesn't even work so often, right? It's very bad against aggro. Like if you play Big Druid and you run Juicy Psych Melon. It's awesome against like Shadowrock Shaman. You just draw your big stuff. Amazing. You can only run 1 9-drop and make it O card, so you always get an O card. But then you cannot run Dragon Hatcher and Dragons, so O card will not be as powerful. I can come up with another way of making making O card very broken. First iterations of Taunt Druid haven't had Dragon Hatchers and Dragon Package, only Primordial Drakes. But I don't think you want to run a Psych Melon just to get O card. It's just not worth it. Yeah, I guess some experiments will be done in order to make this Psych Melon work, just to get O card every time, but it's not even winning you the game so often if you don't run the Dragon Package. Yeah, I think it's only for the Wild. I'm rating it for Standard, so let's give it 2.5. Maybe somebody will find a way to make it work. Actually, if meta will be super greedy, this card is also decent, right? 4 mana, draw 4. It's okay. Meta has to be very greedy, so... okay. I guess you can play like a Taunt Druid, Big Druid, with 2 of Dream Petals, and as an 8 drops you have Primordial Drakes and Lich King. As a 9 drops you have all the dragons and Dragon Hatcher, and as a 10 you have Deathwind Tyrantus. I mean, if meta will be super greedy, you can run this card as well. Mulch Muncher, Rush, cast 1 less for each friendly trend that died this game, 10 mana, 8/8. Okay, so other trend cards Druid has gotten is Landscaping, 7/2 trends for 3 mana, and Tending Torrent, 6 mana, 3/4. Choose one, give your other minions +1/+1, or summon 2/2 trends. We have Witchwood Apple, 3/2 trends to your hand. Soul of the Forest, 2/2 trends after your minion dies. Give all of your minions Death Rattle. Living Mana, transform your mana crystals into 2/2 trends, recover the mana when they die. Oh, that's why they changed Living Mana. I was thinking, why did they change the wording on this card? But it makes sense. I'm guessing they just removed Death Rattle and coded it the hard way. You get your mana back after they die. Holy if it works with the Living Mana? Wow, interesting. So I guess you can play a Mulch Muncher, Token Druid now. You can literally play Living Mana and then trade off your stuff, and Mulch Muncher will become 3 mana. And it's if you didn't play any trends previously. Again, Witchwood Apple is only good if you're running Mountain Giants as well. Mountain Giant, Living Mana, Witchwood Apple, Token Druid. Do you even have space for all those cards? Oh, Force of Nature also gives you trends. I feel like there are so many cards I want to put into my token druid, I don't even have a space for all of those anymore. Are they necessarily making my deck more consistent? I mean, yes, I understand you play living mana and then you get this mulch muncher going for very cheap. It's just an 8/8 though, and you still spend a mana playing it. Token druid is already doing a very good job at getting on board and killing your opponent very quickly. It has a rush, well, who cares? Can you make your deck maybe more slow? Yeah, maybe it's more like an archetype of slower druid. You still want to run ramp to ramp into your living mana quickly and probably ultimate infestation as well. So rating of this card solely depends on whether or not trends are good in token druid. I don't want to play Witchwood Apple. I don't want to play Soul of the Forest. I don't want to play living mana. I want to play 0 mana 8/8 with Rush. You know, I don't want to overhype trend druid. Landscaping is quite decent, but there aren't so many good trend cards. I guess you can just run Landscaping, Tauren and Mulch Munchers and living mana, right? And just everything else is same as token druid. How good is Landscaping again? You always want to wild growth and then you want a 4-drop. I have a strong feeling trend decks will fail. Landscaping 3 stars, Mulch Muncher 2.5, Tangent Tauren 2. I don't think it will be better than just normal token druid. It will make a decent deck to play. I don't think it will be better than token. Then Dendrologist 2 mana 2/3, Battlecry. If you control a trend, discover a spell. And it's okay too. Like 2 mana 2/3 is never too bad. I guess if you run trends, you also have to include this one. Trends decks won't be so great, so I guess I'll rate this one as high as Landscaping 3 stars. Globe Sprayer 8 mana 4/4, Battlecry. Summon a copy of each adjacent minion. I don't know, like why would you need this card? Why would you need this? If you want Quest Druid, you can just run X-Lit and Faceless. It's more flexible. I guess you can play this in Spiteful Summoner Druid. You can land your Gem Petal Florist discount on the Globe Sprayer and then it works better. Yeah, so Globe Sprayer, I don't... let's give it 1.5 star. I don't think it will see play. Biology Project, 1 mana, each player gains 2 mana crystals. Not empty mana crystals, right? So you play this, you can play Wild Growth. Like, you can literally go turn 1 Biology Project into Wild Growth, and then you have 5 mana crystals into Nourish. Yeah, but you also, like, it accelerates the pace of the game, not only for you, it also does so for your opponent. Like, say you're playing against Zoo, right? A Zoo will really enjoy those extra mana crystals you give into the Zoo. Turn 3, yeah, you can just dump all your 1-drops or play your 4 mana drop quicker, then play your... like, it just accelerates game for both players. And, like, I don't see why would it be worth spending a card to play it. I assume the good reasoning to play Biology Project is Ultimate Infestation. Faster you ramp into this card, faster you play it, better it is for you. Like, I don't know what happens when you play this card on 10 mana. Do you get excess mana, or do you not? Also pretty important. I would assume you should get excess mana, right? Maybe you don't, because it works like Innervate, except you can play it up to UI. I really don't want to rate this low, because it might be bad, but it might also be decent. There was a card, Groove Keeper, the 3 mana 2/4. You either draw a card or each of the players get mana crystal. This one was very bad, but it still saw play in Mill Druid, mostly because you can, like, you just draw. You just draw. You never give crystal to your opponent. But this one is different because you get 2 mana crystals, right? So it's like more. Say if you really can get the advantage of having extra mana crystals, this is awesome because for like mana card efficiency isn't so terrible. You ramp for 2, and then oftentimes if you don't get any ramp, you just can't play any cards at all, being a druid. So I don't want to rate this card low. I'll give it 3 stars. I'm just not sure if it's playable or not. It very well might be though. I don't think it's broken though. Like, Wild Growth is better than this for sure. Like, it's good, but drawback is very huge as well, so